There is a truth that very few parents pay attention to. That is, children don't just listen to what we say. They also remember how we say it to them. Casual remarks during family meals. Words that slip out when we are tired. Phrases that seem harmless, habitual, said, and then forgotten. But to a child, those words do not disappear. They quietly stay and gradually become the way the child sees themselves. There are children who grow up always hesitating before trying something new. There are children who are very capable, yet constantly afraid they are not good enough. And there are children who always seek approval from others, because deep down, they have never truly believed in themselves. Not because parents don't love their children. Not because parents intentionally want to hurt them. But sometimes, simply because familiar phrases are repeated over many years. What is worth noting is this. Most parents don't even realize they are doing it. We think we are reminding. We think we are teaching. We think we are helping our child do better. But in the still developing mind of a child, those words may be understood very differently. In this video, we will look together at 10 things parents often say, phrases that seem completely normal, but if repeated often enough, can quietly wear down a child's self-confidence. More importantly, you won't just hear what not to say. You will also learn what to say instead, so that you can maintain discipline without damaging your child's trust in themselves. Not to blame parents. Not to make you feel guilty, but to help you realize this. By changing the way you speak, you can change many things in your child's life. Stay with us until the end of this video. Because very likely you will recognize a few phrases that you yourself have said without ever realizing how powerful their impact could be. Before going into each specific point, there is something very important that needs to be said clearly. If, in the sentences that follow, you realize that you have said some of these things to your child before, please don't rush to blame yourself. No parent begins the journey of raising a child with the intention of hurting their child. Most of these phrases come out during moments of fatigue or stress, or simply because we are repeating the way we ourselves were spoken to as children. The purpose of this video is not to criticize, but to help you recognize familiar phrases and understand how they are affecting your child. Because once you see the impact of your words, you gain the ability to choose, to keep speaking the same way, or to change simply by choosing a different way of expressing it. And sometimes, just changing a single sentence is already enough for a child to feel far more trusted. Point 1. Why can't you be like? It's a very familiar sentence. It shows up at the dinner table, in parent meetings, or after a test that didn't go as expected. That other child studies better than you. Your sibling can do it. Why can't you? To adults, this may feel like just a reminder. But to a child, it is the moment they begin comparing their own worth to someone else's. Instead of thinking, I can improve, the child slowly begins to think, I'm always the one who is not good enough. If this happens repeatedly over time, the child may stop trying to get better and start trying only not to fall behind. There is another way of saying it that can make a very big difference. Instead of comparing, focus on the child. Mom and dad can see that you tried. Now let's look together at what the next step could be, so you can do better. In that moment, the child is no longer competing with others, but learning to trust their own journey. Point 2. You're so lazy. This sentence often slips out at the moments when parents are most exhausted. When homework keeps getting delayed. When the room is still messy. When everything seems to move slower than expected, you're so lazy. On the surface, it may sound like criticism of a behavior. But in a child's mind, the message is understood very differently. This is who I am. When a child is repeatedly labeled this way, they don't just feel sad. They gradually begin to believe that they cannot change. Instead of trying harder, the child may give up, thinking, no matter what I do, I'm still lazy. There's another way of speaking that can help preserve a child's belief in themselves. Not by denying the problem, but by separating the behavior from the person. We see that you haven't started this yet. Let's look together at which part you can begin with first. In that moment, the child is being guided, not defined. Point 3. There's nothing to cry about when a child cries. The familiar reaction of many adults is wanting everything to stop as quickly as possible. There's nothing to cry about. It's such a small thing. Why are you crying? We think we are helping the child become stronger. But for a child, this is the moment they learn that their feelings are not taken seriously. The child doesn't just stay sad about what just happened. They also begin to doubt their own emotions. Am I overreacting? Am I being weak? Over time, the child stops crying. Not because they are okay, but because they learn to hide their feelings inside. There's another way of speaking that can help a child feel much safer. No need to fix anything right away, just acknowledge the feeling first. We see that you're feeling sad. Do you want to tell us what just happened? When feelings are heard, the child can truly learn how to calm down. Point 4, you'll never get it right. This phrase often comes out in moments of frustration, when homework takes too long, when your child keeps making the same mistake, when patience starts to wear thin. You'll never get it right. To an adult, it may sound like a tired complaint, but to a child, it sounds like a conclusion. I'm not capable. Over time, this message does real damage. Children don't stop trying because they're lazy. They stop because they begin to believe that effort won't change the outcome. So instead of risking failure again, they play it safe. They avoid challenges. They shrink their own potential. There is another way to respond, one that keeps motivation alive. This is hard, and I can see you're trying. Let's break it down and take it one step at a time. When mistakes are treated as part of learning, children don't fear failure. They learn that progress is built through patience, not perfection. Point 5. Because I said so. This phrase usually appears when adults are exhausted, when questions feel endless, when explanations seem like too much effort. Because I said so. It may end the conversation quickly, but for a child, it sends a quiet message. Your questions don't matter. Over time, children stop asking why. Not because they understand, but because they learn that curiosity isn't welcome. They may obey on the outside, yet disconnect on the inside. And without understanding the reason behind rules, children don't learn how to think, they only learn how to comply. There is another way to respond that keeps authority without shutting your child down. We do this because it keeps you safe. This matters because it helps your body grow stronger. You don't need a long explanation, just enough to help your child see meaning. When children understand why, they cooperate not out of fear, but out of trust and understanding. Point 6. You're too sensitive. This phrase is often said with a smile, when your child feels hurt by a joke, when they cry during a movie scene, when their reaction seems bigger than you expected. You're too sensitive. To adults, it may sound harmless, but to a child, it quietly sends a different message. There's something wrong with how I feel. Your child may start questioning themselves. Am I overreacting? Should I stop feeling this way? Over time, they don't become stronger. They simply become quieter. Not because they're okay, but because they've learned it's safer to hide their emotions. There's another way to respond, one that helps your child feel accepted instead of ashamed. Instead of dismissing their feelings, acknowledge them. You feel things deeply, and that shows you care. Your emotions matter, and it's okay to feel this way. When a child's sensitivity is respected, they don't lose confidence. They learn that being themselves is safe. Point 7. I'm disappointed in you. This phrase is often said in moments of intense emotion, when a child makes a mistake, when they fall short of expectations, when frustration takes over. I'm disappointed in you. To an adult, it may sound like an honest expression of feeling. But to a child, it doesn't sound like feedback about behavior. It sounds like a judgment of who they are. The child doesn't just feel bad about the mistake. They begin to wonder, am I still worthy of love? Over time, this shame can grow quietly. Some children become perfectionists. Others give up, believing they will never be enough. There is a safer way to speak. One that holds boundaries without damaging self-worth. I didn't like the choice you made, but I believe you can make a better one next time. Point 8. You're just not good at this. This phrase is often said quickly, when a child tries something new and struggles. When they fail more than once. When adults think they're being realistic, you're just not good at this. To a child, this doesn't sound practical, it sounds final, like a door quietly closing on their potential. The child doesn't just stop the activity. They start avoiding anything that might lead to failure. Not because they don't care, but because they don't want to feel not good enough. Confidence doesn't disappear overnight. It fades slowly with each message that says ability is fixed. There is another way to respond, one that keeps possibility alive. This is hard right now. Everyone starts somewhere. If you want, we can practice together. Point 9. You're too old to cry. This phrase is often used when adults want children to be tough. When a child gets hurt. When emotions show up at an inconvenient moment. You're too old to cry. Adults may think they're teaching strength, but to a child, it teaches that emotions should be hidden. The child doesn't learn emotional control. They learn emotional suppression. And they grow up believing that showing feelings means weakness. Over time, this can make it hard for them to connect with their own emotions and to empathize with others. There is a healthier way to respond. I know you're hurt. It's okay to cry. When you're ready, we'll figure this out together. When emotions are allowed, children don't become weaker. They become more resilient. Point 10. You'll never make it. This phrase is rarely said in anger. It often sounds calm, practical, even protective. You'll never make it. Adults may think they're being realistic, trying to prevent disappointment, trying to keep their child safe. But to a child, this is the moment belief collapses. They don't just let go of one dream, they begin to doubt themselves. And when doubt becomes familiar, they stop dreaming even when opportunities appear. Dreams crushed at home are rarely rebuilt elsewhere. There is another way to speak, one that protects hope without making false promises. That's a big dream. If it matters to you, I'm willing to explore the steps with you. You don't have to promise success. You only have to promise this: your child doesn't have to face their dreams alone. After everything we've shared today, there is one simple truth worth holding on to. Not all wounds come from big mistakes. Many of them begin with small, everyday words spoken without much thought. None of us become parents intending to damage our children's confidence. We love them. We want the best for them. But in the rush, the stress, and the weight of daily life, our words sometimes come out faster than our awareness. The good news is this: words that can wound also have the power to heal. You don't need to change everything overnight. You only need to begin with one moment, one pause before speaking, one sentence said with more care, one choice to listen a little longer. From those small moments, something powerful begins to grow. Your child learns that they are trusted, that they matter, and that they are capable of finding their own way forward. If this video gave you a new perspective, consider subscribing to the channel and joining us in future conversations where we share reflections, stories, and insights that help parents nurture confidence, emotional safety, and inner strength in their children. Because sometimes, the most powerful gift a child can receive is simply hearing the right words, at the right time from the people who matter most.